Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news, gas leak repaired. After 8 hours, crews in southern Wake County fixed the leak. The work being done now that the pipe will have to be replaced.
And your two weather makers today, the winds begin to pick up ahead of our WRAL weather alert day, where we have a good chance for severe thunderstorms. I'll walk you through it.
And tariffs take effect. At midnight, tariffs against Mexican, Canadian, and Chinese imports went into place. The goods that we will all now pay more for. And 4:30 is the time right now as we welcome you inside our WRAL studio here on our Tuesday before the wind and the rain and the storms come here. We'll get our Tuesday started together. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Temperatures out there a little warmer than yesterday. You'll probably feel a little bit of a difference. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. It's still coat weather.
It is, but we are warming up some, and we'll definitely notice it this afternoon. We take a live look at Cary, where skies are clear. It's 41 degrees. Yesterday we were in the 20s, so that is a pretty significant difference. Our wind is now coming out of the south, and that's going to make all the difference in the world for us today. It's also likely to be breezy, not so much this morning, but once we get closer to lunchtime, the winds will pick up, and we'll see gusts around 15 miles per hour or so, and then that may pick up overnight too as that system gets a little closer to us. We do have temperatures in the 30s in a lot of spots. Good, that's 30 in Southern Pines, 32 in Clinton, 32 Rocky Mount, 34 in Roxborough and South Hill. So temperatures are running warmer than yesterday, anywhere from 5 to almost 15 degrees warmer. And the temperatures really warm up this afternoon too. We'll see high temperatures in the upper 60s. Over the last 24 hours, it looks like we're going to see a bigger chance for severe thunderstorms. Most of our viewing areas under a level 3 risk for severe storms for tomorrow. That means that wind damage is likely, and there could be some isolated tornadoes. The timeline for that is going to be 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Coming up, we'll walk through the timeline for you on Futurecast.
Elizabeth, thanks. We're following breaking news. Around 1 this morning, crews were able to get a major gas leak near Fuquay Arena under control. The intersection of 1010 Road and Highway 401 is back open. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live in the area. And Kelsey, what are you seeing there?
Renee, that section of the road is now back open, but you can see that crews are still hard at work this morning. If you take a look here, they are looking at really trying to get a temporary fix for this gas leak. So you may have been stuck in this traffic nightmare during rush hour yesterday. Drivers sat through standstill traffic on 401 near Garner when crews first responded to this gas leak. Stores and restaurants in the area were forced to evacuate. Crews shut down power as a safety precaution, leaving more than 2,000 customers in the dark for hours. Now, the gas company that's working on this says that they're working on a temporary fix for the damaged gas line for now. We'll be sure to keep you updated on when they're able to make a permanent replacement. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Wake County.
We also have breaking news we're following out of Wayne County. Deputies are investigating a scene where at least one person was shot. Video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows this scene on Pecan Road in the community of Dudley. Deputies responded to a home around midnight and found one person shot. That person was taken to the hospital. We are working to learn more about that person's condition. Deputies say the shots were fired from inside a house. They did not say whether anyone has been arrested.
New this morning, tariffs for Mexico and Canada went into effect at midnight. Imports from Canada and Mexico will be taxed at 25%, with Canadian energy products getting tariffed at 10%. A 10% tariff on Chinese imports that Trump imposed a month ago also doubled to 20%. China is retaliating with additional tariffs of up to 15% on certain products like chicken, wheat, corn, and cotton. Canada says it will impose 25% tariffs on all U.S. imports.
Today, state lawmakers will debate a bill taking former Governor Roy Cooper to task over his disaster recovery efforts. They're also working more closely with new Governor Josh Stein on his own recovery efforts. Under Cooper, the state took years to rebuild homes after Hurricane Florence and Matthew. In fact, about 1,000 homes are still waiting for help after those storms nearly a decade ago. Today, the State House will debate a bill called the Cooper Accountability Act to audit past relief efforts. The bill will also give Stein everything his administration has told the legislature he needed to finish the Florence and Matthew rebuilds.
For the first time since September, you can now drive to Tennessee on I-40. The interstate through the Pigeon River Gorge had been shut down since Helene washed away entire traffic lanes. One lane is back open in each direction. Lanes are narrower than before, and the top speed is 35 miles per hour.
President Trump has ordered a pause on military aid to Ukraine, according to two U.S. officials. The move comes in the wake of Friday's heated Oval Office meeting between Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. An official says the pause applies to all military equipment not yet inside Ukraine. That includes shipments of critical munitions previously announced by the Biden administration. Officials noted that pause could be lifted if Zelensky shows a new commitment to negotiations to end the war, possibly in the form of an apology to Trump.
Part of Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh is back open this morning after a multi-vehicle crash. It shut down part of Capitol Boulevard at Hodges Street in Raleigh. Sky 5 flew over that scene last night around 7. You could see one car rolled over and two others damaged. The crash also caused power lines to come down in the road. The driver of the car that rolled over was transported to the hospital.
A judge denied bond for two men accused of kidnapping and trafficking a Siler City teen. Ronnie Suarez and Saul Ramirez Guevara had a virtual court hearing yesterday. Cameras were not allowed to record it. Police say the men kidnapped a 15-year-old girl, leading to the statewide Amber Alert. Attorneys say Ramirez Guevara is originally from El Salvador. He came back to the U.S. after being deported 10 years ago. They say Suarez is originally from Venezuela. He currently has an outstanding removal warrant from immigration agents. They each are facing similar charges in other states.
A lot of times they work in a network that doesn't stay necessarily in one place. We don't know if we have anyone else involved or if could be a larger group.
More charges are expected against these men. Their next court date is March 19th.
Shrouded in darkness, a fast-moving dust storm in New Mexico. We'll show you video taken by drivers caught in the middle.
And scorpion at luggage claim. A woman stung at Boston Logan International Airport.
I have not checked it for scorpions yet, but I'm going to be on the lookout from now on.
Yeah, we'll hear from a scientist on how that animal possibly got in there.
And this is a live look at Apex. Today is the calm before the storm. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will show us the timing and potential impact of tomorrow's storms.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
440, taking a look at temperatures this morning, mostly in the 30s. Yesterday we were in the 20s, but we're still close to freezing in a lot of spots, like Wilson sitting at 32, 33 in Fayetteville, but it's a good bit warmer there at RDU, where the temperature is reading 41 right now. Our skies are clear. We're going to see breezy conditions picking up as we get through the day today. 34 in Holly Springs. Right now it's 41 in Durham, 36 in Garner, 37 degrees in Cary. We do have another high brush fire risk. We've seen those fires from the weekend, even through yesterday. So just make sure that you're not doing any outdoor burning for today. Once we get past tomorrow and we get a little bit of rain, it'll be a good bit safer. School day forecast, cold this morning, but really warm this afternoon. High temperatures climb into the upper 60s. We're going to talk more about tomorrow's potential for strong storms coming up.
Drivers in New Mexico suddenly found themselves in the middle of a fast-moving dust storm. The storm, called a haboob, caused near-zero visibility. Authorities issued an emergency alert and closed parts of two interstates and a U.S. highway. There are no reports of any crashes caused by the storm. Forecasts say more conditions like these are possible in that area today.
Head of the FBI's largest field office says he was forced to retire. James Dennehy was the assistant director in charge of the FBI's New York division. In an email to colleagues Monday, he wrote that he was informed last week to submit his retirement papers, which he did. Dennehy says he wasn't given a reason. Last month, Dennehy promised to, quote, dig in after the Trump administration removed senior FBI leaders and requested the names of all agents who worked on January 6th cases. As part of his departure message, Dennehy said he will never stop defending the FBI, even if he has to do it from outside.
Kroger's CEO has abruptly resigned after an investigation into his personal conduct. Rodney McMullen resigned yesterday. He had been Kroger's CEO for more than 10 years. In a statement, Kroger says McMullen's behavior was inconsistent with the company's ethics policies. No further details were given. A longtime member of the board of directors is now serving as Kroger's interim CEO.
If you have a flight scheduled after May 7th, you're going to want to make sure you have a real ID. The TSA says people who don't have a real ID or passport for flights starting May 7th will face significant delays at checkpoints. About 78% of people who fly nationwide already have real IDs. To get one, you'll need to go to the DMV and provide documents that include your full legal name, your date of birth, your social security number, lawful status, and 2 proofs of address. If you aren't sure whether you already have a real ID, you can just check for that, the check mark, the star right there in the upper right corner.
A lane of I-40 in Durham will be closed today so crews can patch potholes. The inside lane of I-40 East will be closed between NC 54 and Fayetteville Road. The work is expected to start at 9 this morning and last until about 3 this afternoon. The DOT says it needs to be done during the day because nighttime temperatures are too cold for patching asphalt. Similar repairs on I-40 West are set to happen soon.
Another case of bird flu has been found in North Carolina. This is a backyard flock of chickens tested positive in Dare County. In January, 2 commercial turkeys tested positive in Sampson and Hyde counties. Last month, a great horned owl tested positive in Wake County. The animals were destroyed to prevent further spread. The virus has affected egg prices across the country.
A woman was stung by a scorpion while retrieving luggage at Boston Logan International Airport on Sunday. And according to state police, a 40-year-old woman was stung by a scorpion while grabbing her luggage in the baggage claim area of Customs. The woman was taken to a hospital. Investigators say they don't know where the scorpion came from. Jessica Garb is an associate professor in the Department of Biological Sciences at UMass Lowell. She says scorpions are not native to New England.
It's conceivable that a scorpion could have somehow got entangled in some luggage unintentionally and got transported. Very unusual. I've never heard of this happening.
What's up, brother?
According to the CDC, a scorpion sting or bite will cause mild discomfort or pain, but symptoms typically subside within 48 hours.
Covering Franklin County, the town of Bunn is getting a new EMS station. It's located at NC 39. Groundbreaking for the station is happening at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
It is 4:45. Weather is calm today, but the storm system is setting up there for tomorrow, which will be a WRAL weather alert day. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner guides us through what we can expect tomorrow.
Let's take a look at where it is right now. You can see it moving through Texas and Oklahoma, and that red shaded area is where there's a tornado watch. And then the yellow boxes that keep popping up are severe thunderstorm warnings. There have been some tornado warnings along this line as well. So this is what's headed our way, and it is currently producing some severe storms, and we feel like that is a good likelihood here. As a matter of fact, the Storm Prediction Center has put us under a level 3 risk, which is something that we don't see very often. And typically we see a level 1 risk, and occasionally 2. 5 is the highest, and it's extremely rare for us to see that. Let's talk about the timeline, because this is going to happen during the morning hours. At 6:30, the rain is back to our west. By the time we get to 10 o'clock, things start to crank up a little bit more. Watch the line here. You can pick it out with the dark red. So there may be some rain out ahead of it. We're seeing that at around 10 a.m., but it's right where the line is that is where we're going to end up with the severe storms. And it's one of those lines that stretches all the way from Virginia to South Carolina. At lunchtime, we're going to see that right through the middle of our viewing area. By the time we get to 12:30, it's probably going to be a pretty fast-moving line, too. Rocky Mount to Goldsboro to Clinton. And then by the time we get to 1:30, it's pushing out of our viewing area. So this is going to be a late morning into early afternoon sort of event for us. Straight line damaging wind will be our biggest threat, but isolated tornadoes are not out of the question. It's going to be windy around this as well. This is a look at when we'll have the best chance of seeing those severe storms between 10 o'clock and around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Rainfall is going to be fairly heavy with this, but again, the wind damage is going to be our biggest threat. So in the morning between 6 and 9, a few showers. It'll become windy. And then between 9 and noon, we'll see that strong line of thunderstorms. And then after lunchtime, it'll still be breezy behind the system. And so we do still have a brush fire risk, mainly for today. Once we start to see some of that rain, that brush fire risk will diminish somewhat, but it still looks like a windy day for tomorrow. Here's a live look at Cary Downtown Park, where it's 41 degrees. Temperatures will likely drop on into the 30s. Everybody else pretty much in the 30s this morning. So it's coat weather again heading out the door. 34 in Roxborough, 29 now in Goldsboro, 30 in Southern Pines, 32 in Clinton. So a little bit warmer than yesterday, but yesterday we had more widespread 20s, but it is 30 in Clayton right now, 36 in Apex, and 35 degrees in Rollsville. Around town for today, temperatures are going to be much warmer. It'll be breezy. Temperatures 71 in Fayetteville, will be in the mid to upper 60s in Raleigh and Durham. Tomorrow, of course, is a warm day, but we'll see those thunderstorms coming through. Behind the storms, temperatures will drop into the 50s on Thursday. And of course, looking ahead to the weekend, we go back to daylight saving time. This weekend looks a lot like last weekend. Really warm on Saturday, a good bit cooler on Sunday. Sunday, we may see an isolated shower.
Thanks, Elizabeth. The final voyage, a historic ocean liner, makes its way from Philadelphia to Alabama.
She was beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
We're going to hear from the 91-year-old who was on that ship's maiden voyage in 1952.
Upgrading the green, the multi-million-dollar makeover approved for one of Raleigh's oldest public golf courses.
.452 is the time right now. Top of the Hill Restaurant, our camera here in Chapel Hill, the Franklin Street intersection right there. A little bit more mild out there this morning than yesterday. Still going to need a coat as we prepare for tomorrow's weather alert day.
The SS United States has reached its final resting place after making a voyage from Philadelphia to Mobile, Alabama yesterday. The former ocean liner holds the transatlantic speed record, which was set during its maiden voyage in 1952. A 91-year-old woman in Long Beach, Mississippi, is recounting her journey during that voyage to France. Norma Weed says she was traveling to join her husband, who was deployed there. She worked various different jobs to pay for a ticket on the ship. During that time, Weed says she couldn't imagine the vessel would become as famous as it did.
To have it be the first ship in competition with the Queen Elizabeth was absolutely amazing.
Weed remembers that she got seasick during her trip, but she still thought the ship was beautiful. The ship is eventually going to be sunk off the coast of Florida, where it will become the world's largest artificial reef.
Wedding season is right around the corner, and whether you are planning your own big day or going to a wedding as a guest, you know they can be extremely expensive. Jen Sullivan has advice for couples and their guests to help stay within the budget.
Your wedding is likely the happiest day of your life. Months of planning, all to say I do to your life partner. But what you don't want is your big day to break your bank.
So many couples decide like, oh, we're going to spend this much, and then they start researching wedding costs.
Lauren Kay with wedding planning website The Knot says the national average of a wedding last year was $33,000.
That's typically encompassing the cost of the venue or the ceremony and reception.
Between the venue, food, vendors, attire, and other things, the bill can add up quickly. Kay says couples should first set a budget. Most couples will spend the most on their wedding venue and food, with couples spending an average of $284 per guest.
If you're willing to trim your guest list a bit, you can offer those guests who do make the cut a really memorable experience.
Other ways couples can save is getting married during off-season months like January or February.
Don't be afraid to embrace a Friday or a Monday wedding and make a weekend out of it.
Kay also suggests bringing down the flower cost by repurposing your ceremony flowers and reusing them on tables at the venue. So what if you're a wedding guest? Last year, the average guest spent $610 to attend a wedding, according to The Knot.
You can always go in on a gift and use that as an opportunity to get something really fantastic, but for less money.
Kay also suggests re-wearing outfits and freshening up your look with a different jacket and new accessories.
One of Raleigh's oldest public golf courses will get a makeover. McConnell Golf reached an agreement with the Raleigh Golf Association Board of Directors to extend its agreement. And in return, the company will invest $3.5 million into renovating the course. Plans include a new state-of-the-art driving range with bays and lighting for year-round play. RGA was originally designed in 1929. It was last made over in 1998.
Can't wait for the redo. Duke legend Grant Hill will speak at Duke's commencement this year. The 1994 Hall of Fame inductee will address grads at this year's May 11th ceremony. Hill graduated from Duke in 1994 with a double major in history and political science. He also played in the NBA before retiring from basketball.
This is Read Across America Week, a week to promote reading and literacy. And to celebrate, WRAL's Ashley Rowe spent time Monday morning reading to preschoolers at the Goddard School in Cary. She read two of her young daughter's favorite books, Tell the Truth, Dragon, and The Adventures of Beagle. Read Across America Week has been around since 1998.
Gas leak fixed, the area you should avoid in southern Wake County as crews finish up repairs to a gas line right near a major highway.
Mexico, Canada, China, tariffs in effect for each of those countries. Coming up in the WRAL Live Center, a look at how the U.S. stock futures are reacting.
And fires in the Carolinas. The newest information on wildfires that burned from our mountains to Myrtle Beach.